Welcome to radio frequency classes. Today we are going to discuss the half wave rectifier circuit using LT-Spice software. So in this session I will be discussing about the half wave rectifier circuit using diode, load resistor and a voltage supply, sinusoidal voltage supply. So here directly I'll be defining a supply which will be directly connected through the diode. Okay, and then we'll be seeing the output across the R1 for a half wave rectifier, how output varies in terms of voltage and current, and we'll also try to see the ripple factor. And then second circuit I'll be showing with the transformer concept. So in the transformer, in the LT Spice, in place of transformer we use two inductors L1 and L2, and it is defined as a in between these two inductance the mutual coupling will be defined with this expression, which is taken from the .op option spice directive. I'll be explaining it while discussing the circuit. So once we'll define this, there will be a mutual inductance between these two, and by reducing the secondary binding value of this inductance, we can reduce the available voltage here, and then this voltage we can supply to the diode, and we can see the output across the R1. Then role of capacitor I will discuss. When we use this capacitor, we can obtain the almost constant supply, and we can reduce the ripple introduced in the half wave rectifier. So I'll open a circuit, a new window, and I'll explain the concepts from the beginning. First I'll take this circuit, this one, okay, the simple diode 1N4148 from the LT Spice library, and I'll take R1 resistor of 1 kilo ohm, and I'll define all these things. Okay, so I'm going to open a window. What you can do is from the file, okay, you can open a new schematic. Okay, I have already opened it. So here I'll be taking one resistor. So from here we can take the resistor and we can place it like this, then escape, then we can select a diode, and to rotate the diode press Ctrl R, so it will get rotated. Then we'll place it here, and again when we'll press the escape button, it will be deselected. Then from this window component, we'll click it, we'll type VOL, we'll get the voltage supply, and we'll keep it here V1. Press escape button, we'll be free from this. We'll take one ground and we'll place near this and press escape button, and we'll connect all these four through the wire. V1 disconnected. Okay, now circuit is complete. We have to define the value. So exactly where R is written, we'll left click, we'll write it as a 1K. So it will be acting as a 1 kilo ohm resistor. And for diode, we'll left click and pick new diode. We'll pick new diode 1N4148. So as you can see here, it's silicon diode. Okay, so approximately 0.6 to 0.7 volt will be the breakdown voltage, or we can say cutting voltage, 0.6 to 0.7. We'll press OK. So this diode is now defined as a 1N4148. And for voltage supply, if we want to give a DC, directly we can click here in place of V and we can define it, but we have to give a sinusoidal signal. So we'll left click here and go to advanced setting. So here we have an option of sine. Okay, none, pulse, sine, like that we have the options. Click on sine, and DC offset we not to define anything. Amplitude will give it here as approximately 10 volt. So write as a 10. Frequency we can give any frequency. I am choosing it as a 50 hertz. So for 50 hertz, okay, 1 by f it will do. You will get the time period t, which will be equal to 1 by 50 hertz. Okay, 20 millisecond. And here we can define the number of cycle also, but I am not at all defining anything. Okay, so we can have a number of cycles. Okay, if you want, you can restrict it. Okay, so depending upon the frequency, you can calculate the time period, and based on the time period, we can select the number of cycle. Press OK. So you can see here we have defined a sinusoidal signal of 10 volt 50 hertz, and this is also defined. Now to simulate this, we have to go to the option simulate, open it, edit simulation command, click here. Okay, we have transient, AC analysis, DC sweep, noise, DC transfer, and DC operating point. So transient analysis, stop time we can define. It is like a time period of 20 milliseconds. So more than that we have to give. I want to see 2 cycles. So I'll write 40 small m for millisecond. So 40 millisecond. I don't bother of start timing and make some time step. Suppose you want to get much better waveform, you can define it here like 0.1 or 1 like that. Start saving data means after what time you want to start the saving data, you can give it like, but it should be below this, like okay 20 millisecond, or you can select as a 1 millisecond, 2 millisecond, but let it not define anything, so automatically it will take the data from the 0 time period. So now we have defined a transient analysis. Okay, we can place it anywhere. I'm placing it here. So the circuit is now complete. We have defined the transient analysis, we have defined the diode, resistance value, voltage source. So now if I'll run it, okay, I'm going to simulate. Okay, so here we have a lot of windows are open because already I have the circuits as I shown you already. This was the circuit what I'm going to simulate here. Okay, so now this circuit is the current one what I have simulated. So if I want to see the voltage across this load resistance or current, okay, like this, if you are getting the symbol, it means I will get the current across this load resistor. And if I am getting this pen symbol, means I'll get the voltage. So when I'll click it here, see, so we are getting the positive half cycle, negative is not there, okay, because diode is turned off. In the positive half cycle, P is positive, N is negative, okay, so it will be acting in a forward bias, so the current will flow, okay, and the voltage will be available across the cycle. Okay, so if you want to see the input, you click it here. Okay, so you can see the blue color is the input waveform and red one is the output waveform of the half wave rectifier. I hope so it is clear to all of you. Okay, so see here, it's the blue one is the input waveform and red one is the output waveform. So in the reverse bias we can see diode is open circuit, so we are not getting anything as the output. So now we are going to see the second circuit, this one, where we use the, so in this we are going to use the concept of transformer. So I'll open a new window and I'll simulate it. Okay, so now I'm going to close this draft is closed. I'm going to open a new window, file, new schematic. So here I'll draw the new circuit. Okay, so again what we are going to do, we'll take one resistor, we'll place it R1, we'll select a diode, control R, 2 times you have to press, so we can place D1. We'll select a supply voltage source, place it like this, voltage source. Okay, we have to select the inductor. So one inductor will be placed here, and another inductor, when we are placing it, you have to press Control and E. Control E. So it will get mirror image of the L1. Okay, we can place it here, and then escape button. So now 2 inductors are available. Okay, one diode, one resistor, and one voltage supply. So right now I'll just simulate with this. Okay, I'll connect it and simulate, and after that I'll use a capacitor and I'll show you that how we'll get the constant DC supply with concept of filter. So for this, we can just select the move button and we can move the components. Okay, this diode I'll select and move somewhere here, and then I'll select R1, I'll move this side, this L2 will be somewhere here. Okay, so now we have, then press escape button, select one ground for this one and one ground for this circuit, escape, take the wire and join it. So this is my primary side V1 and L1, and secondary side is L2 with connected with the diode. Diode is connected with the resistor R1, and this one is connected again with the L2, and ground is connected here, and this side ground is connected here. Okay, circuit is complete. Now we have to define the value of L2, L1, V1, diode, and R1. R1 I will select just like same thing previously, 1K, 1 kilo ohm. Diode will just left click here, click new diode, select 1N4148, which is silicon, and press OK. So diode is defined. Then we select the L2 value. I'll take it as 0.1 micro. So for micro, you can press a small u. It will be acting as a 0.1 microhenry. L2 will take a higher value, 10 mu, 10 microhenry. Why we are taking this higher? Because whatever voltage will be here, we are taking like AC supply in the home around 230 volt. So it should be reduced here. Okay. So when less value is there and the coupling will be defined, then we can reduce the voltage. Now we'll define the voltage source. Go here, advanced setting, sinusoidal waveform. Amplitude will take 230 volt and frequency same 50 hertz, and we'll press OK. Now our sinusoidal signal is defined. Okay, now one thing I'll like to make clear here, we cannot directly connect an inductor in LT Spice, it won't run, okay, and it will be acting in a different way, okay, as the resonating circuit itself. So we have to define a small resistance, very small resistance, so that our circuit should work. So here you can see parasitic properties, we have series resistance. So I'll define as a 0.001 milli ohm, very small resistance. So as you can see here, we have defined the resistance. So now everything is not too much clear. So what we can do is we can go and we'll select here, move, and then we'll click on this. We can move this side, sinusoidal, and we'll click on this resistance part and we can move it across the circuit. So now it is much clearer. And then press escape. It is deselected. Now we have to define the coupling between this L1 and L2. So we'll go to this .op option, Spice directive, click it here. There is a way to write it. Okay, so same way we have to write K space capital L1, the way we have defined the inductance. Then again press space button, L2, press space button, and then 1. So the coefficient between these two is K, which is defined as a 1. Press OK and then place it here. So as you can see, the coefficient between these two is defined. Then we'll be seeing the dots. If your dot is upside, then you have to define it as a 1. It means you have not taken a mirror image of this. You have just rotated the L2. Okay. Either we can rotate this L1 and we can fix it here, or we can take the mirror image of this inductor. So if we'll take the mirror image, then you can see when you are defining the one, both the dots are here, downside. Okay. If dot is upside, we have to define 1 as a -1. Then circuit will work. Okay, otherwise you will be getting the negative waveform. So now you can see all the circuit is defined. After this, what we have to do, now circuit is defined properly, we have to go to the simulate button, edit simulation command, transient analysis. As it is having 20 millisecond period, so multiple of 20, how much we want we can give it. I'm giving it like 100 millisecond, so almost 5 cycles I'll get. I'll press OK and place it here. Now my circuit is defined with the diode, inductance, resistor value, the voltage source, everything is defined properly. We'll go and simulate it. Okay, we have simulated. Now my circuit is present here, which is same thing what I have shown you in the beginning. Okay, except the capacitor. So now if I want the voltage across this R1, okay, we know that when we have this red color symbol, when if we'll click it across the resistor, I am getting the output voltage. Okay, and if you want to see the input voltage here, we can just click it here. Yes, so this is our input waveform. Now one more thing, if you want to see the reduced voltage, okay, right now it is approximately 24 volt. If you want to reduce the voltage across the secondary winding further, we can define this L2 little lower value, 0.01 microhenry. Press OK and then simulate, run. Now you can see the waveform, which is around approximately 7.5 volt, and as you can see, it is not exactly overlapping the waveforms. Okay, red and blue one. Red one is the output waveform across the R1. Okay, and blue one is the voltage available across the secondary winding. So you can see there is a difference. That is nothing but a voltage drop across the diode. Okay, the 0.7 volt because of the silicon. Now we can connect here a capacitor. I'll select a capacitor. I'll place it here. Then escape button. I'll make it. Okay. I have taken a capacitor. To show you the reduction in the ripple, and we can get the constant DC supply across this load. Okay, we'll connect this capacitor. And we define some value. You can see that define is like 100 microfarad. Okay, and we can simulate it. Now see the voltage. Once we'll simulate it, okay, for this circuit, you can see the graph. Okay, we are getting the output across the resistor, okay, which is almost constant. If you want much better graph like constant DC supply, okay, we can just increase the value of capacitor or resistor. Okay, this combination is nothing but the time constant RC tau. Okay, so these time constants can control the waveforms ripple factor. Okay, and by increasing this, okay, discharge time also will increase, so we can have much better constant waveform across the load. Now if I'll simulate, now you can see almost constant waveform we are getting it, okay, across the load, this red color, and blue one is the input waveform. So this is the role of the rectifier. Okay, we can convert the AC signal into the constant DC signal, okay, by using the diode. But the ripple factor of this half wave rectifier is much higher, which is around 1.21. Okay, so some numericals also can be formed, can be asked based on the ripple factor and IDC value and the RMS value of the current voltage and DC value of current voltage. Okay, all those things will be discussed in the next video. For this, it is completed. Both the circuits I have discussed. In my next video, I'll be showing you the full wave rectifier with the center tape binding and with the bridge rectifier, and I'll discuss the output waveforms and all those things. If you like the content, kindly subscribe the channel and share it among your friends. Thank you so much for watching the radio frequency classes.